Hello and welcome to FPL Mate, your best mate for Fantasy Premier League content for the 2021-22 season. My name is Dan and welcome to the Game Week 15 deadline stream. Hope you're all doing very well today. Let's have a look quickly and see who is in the chat today. See what members have we got. We've got Sahil, we've got our moderators, Count Sealaw and Dan Cross. We've got Super Chat already somehow, crazy. True Fandela says he's given me his whole team on screen there. And he's asking me whether we should roll the transfer and who goes on the bench. Well, we'll talk about the bench list soon. Don't worry about that. But let's have a look and see through your team there. It looks pretty strong, to be honest. I don't know if I'd want to play Louise. Louise, I'm guessing that's Douglas Louise. Don't know if I'd want to play him, but apart from that, it looks pretty good. So maybe you can change someone on your bench if you don't like him. Maisie Joyce is in the chat as well. Nice to see you all this morning. Mr. Tasty Sock says, show us Milton. Milton is asleep downstairs. And for anyone asking, who will inevitably ask, Mrs. FPL Mate is at work as usual. And there we go. So, yeah, guys, first of all, quick look at my team, my final team for the game week, because it's not changing from here. So we may as well whiz through it. So we have got the 5-man defence. Partially because I decided a couple of weeks ago that that's what I wanted to do, so we are going to stick with that plan, and partially because I don't really like my bench options that much. I have actually updated my team since then, so I'm just going to refresh this because I did switch the bench order. I have put Mbumo in first on the bench just because at least he guarantees me a nice 2-pointer. I say guaranteed, but there we go. Lagging as usual. The new computer is on its way though, don't worry. What is going on here? I have so many problems with this computer. It needs to go in the bin, really. It needs to go in the bin. Can't wait for that new one to arrive. Yes, I do accept the cookies, Premier League. I accept the cookies. Give me the cookies. Another super chat here from Avaral says, should I keep Gundogan and roll the transfer? Yeah, I think so. I don't see why you would get rid of Gundogan. I'm assuming you only brought him in last week, and if so, you brought him in for a reason. So yeah, I would keep Gundogan. You never know; he could play. He could play this week. Did Mrs. FPL Mate change her team? Yes, she did. She made one transfer. She swapped out Jordan Pickford and brought in David De Gea. Finally, she's got rid of Pickford. About time. Matthew Vaughan says, do you think Ronaldo is injured? I think it's rumours. I also think it's rumours, Matthew. I really do. That's not the reason I'm keeping Kane. I mean, obviously it factors in a little bit. Guys, those of you asking about which players to bench, don't worry. The bench list is coming up and we're gonna discuss all of that. But yeah, I'm sticking with Kane personally. I think whenever I have a situation where I'm not sure what to do, or I'm not 100% on a transfer, usually the answer is to just not do the transfer and just keep things as they are and then reassess the following game week. I'm not sure who's going to score more this game week, Kane or Ronaldo. Ronaldo has better form. Kane will get more minutes. Kane arguably has the better fixture as well, and I don't know. Maybe this game is kind of set up for Kane in a way. I do think Ronaldo do well. I do think Ronaldo will start, and I do think he'll do well. But I'm not confident enough in him that I would make the switch this game week. You know, that seems like a move I would make next game week. But other people, you know, particularly if you've got Vardy, for example, I would probably genuinely consider moving him to Ronaldo. I really would. Dan Cross says, goalkeeper transfer for Mrs. FPL Mate, so still has Odegaard and El Yunusi. Yeah, but Odegaard, did he score or assist last week, didn't he? So he's doing okay. I think Odegaard's going to get another start, to be honest. So we were kind of talking about it, and we decided that Odegaard's going to stay. El Yunusi stays just because there's no one else to transfer him to. But she's going to have 2 free transfers to use next week. And now that a goalkeeper situation is resolved, perhaps she can do a double transfer. You know, she's got like Duffy and Jansen. They could potentially move on, and then you know, bank the money saved from going for those guys to upgrade El Yunusi a little bit, maybe. I think that's kind of the idea there. But there we go. But yeah, I'm sticking with Kane this week. I'm not going to go for Ronaldo. As much as I was tempted, I feel like when in doubt, do nothing. That's like one of my rules that I give to myself in FPL, because often is the case. If you make a transfer move you're not 100% sure on, and it goes wrong. And every transfer, I always say, every transfer should be used to drastically improve your team. Transfers are valuable. Every transfer should be massively improving your team. So let's see how Kane does this week. You know, if it goes all wrong, then we'll just move him on to Ronaldo next week. That's absolutely no problem. Another super chat from Ollie Anderson. Says, hello mate, do Jimenez to King and Rafinha to Sancho, or Mbumo to Gundogan? I would probably just do a straight swap for Jimenez to someone. But I mean, I feel like you don't need to do any of these transfers unless you have to use a transfer this week. I don't think you need to do any of those. Rafinha's got another good game week against Brentford. King has a terrible fixture. Jimenez is arguably more likely to score against Liverpool than King is against Man City, to be honest. And Mbumo to Gundogan, whilst I would probably want to get rid of Mbumo, not sure Gundogan is the player I'd go for, just because I'm so worried, really, about Manchester City and who's going to be starting and who's going to be rested. So I'm finding that really a few people have asked me kind of, who do you think I should go for as a Man City attacker? And my answer really is, I don't know. I really don't know. This seems like a game week where there's going to be a lot of rotation. Players coming back from injury. We don't know how fit everyone is. Players who have been playing a lot of games all in a row, i.e. Bernardo Silva. It just seems like we're set up for some rotation here, and I don't know where it's going to be. So like I said, I don't really want to push people towards any Man City midfielders. If you want to go for a Man City midfielder of your own accord, then that's absolutely, of course, I mean, it's probably going to be a good thing. You expect Man City will go out and score a few goals against Watford, so it could really pay off, but it's a risk, and it's not really a risk that I want to advise on, and it's not something that I want to do personally either. So difficult for me to sit here and say who you should go for. Foden, Gundogan, Bernardo Silva, Mahrez, Sterling, Jesus, Kevin De Bruyne. You know, we can go on and on and on about which Man City player is the best to buy. At the end of the day, half of them are going to get benched. So, and I don't know which half. You know, it's difficult. Varun says, what is a good exit route from Son next week if you had a premium defence and Duffy with Salah, Jota, Bernardo Silva, Antonio Huang, Tony Roll, or transfer one? I don't think you need to exit from Son next week, to be honest. I mean, if we have a look through Spurs' fixtures, they're not too bad. You know, there's a lot of argument, particularly if the player's in form, like Son. If he's doing well, then, you know, we've got Brighton next. That's not horrendous. It's not a great fixture. It's not horrendous. Leicester are conceding a lot of goals at the moment. Liverpool are, you know, obviously they're a top team, but they're a top team because of their attack, not because of their defence. So Liverpool, you know, you can score a goal against Liverpool, especially if you're a Tottenham. You know, matching up against Trent Alexander-Arnold, for example. And then Crystal Palace, Southampton, Watford, those are fixtures we like. So I don't think there's any real pressure to jump off those Spurs attackers, really. If you don't want to, like Son, I wouldn't even be thinking about removing him. I don't think you need to think about it. I'd be more likely to bring in Son than to get rid of him. So there we go. We've got the apple and blackcurrant squash, as usual. A deadline stream must have, right? Bradley Gowan says King's going to return today. I'm not sure about that. He'll return to the starting 11. I don't think he's going to score against Man City, though, to be honest. I mean, it could happen. And Brumo's going to score today, you reckon, as well? Is he playing today or tomorrow? I don't know. I don't know. Surely Mbumo is just... I mean, if you watched him play, he's getting worse rather than better. He's getting worse. It's quite depressing, really. Really quite depressing. But oh well, there we go. Bernardo or Maddison. Again, I'm not going to advise you on any Man City midfielders, but also I don't think this is the right week to go for Maddison. Aston Villa are away. It's not an ideal fixture, really. If you were going to buy Maddison, it was the time was last week or this week. Or next week, sorry. Anand says Livramento, Mbumo, Jimenez, which one to start in 5-4-1? Well, it doesn't really matter what formation you play. If I had to start one of them, I guess I would probably start one of Livramento or Jimenez. Count Sealaw says, I think we might need a blackcurrant squash emote. I think you're right, actually, because it's just like an essential part of these streams, right? It's an essential part. Abbas says, start Alonso or Livramento. Already starting James. You've got to start Alonso. If you have Alonso, you've got to start him. Corey says, thoughts on my team. That's a long old team, but I'm not going to read it all out. But generally speaking, it looks pretty good to go. Yeah, you're looking good. I wouldn't be benching Alonso personally, but I mean, if that's what you want to do, go for it. Like, you know, if like I say, if you have Alonso, start him. Timothy Murdoch says, can we see the bench list? So a few other people asking for the bench list. Jimmy, Ignatius. Let's have a look at the bench list then. Mohammed also asked if this is my final team, and yes, this is my final team. I'm not going to be any more changes now. Right, let's just make sure my captain's right. Yeah, it is. Okay, right, bench list. I have added some players already. As always, guys, we will add a few more players as I think of them, / as you guys suggest them. But here we go. So we've got Reece James right at the tippy top. By the way, guys, I looked this morning, and Reece James has been transferred out by 200,000 FPL managers. 200,000 FPL managers have completely lost the plot, and I'm praying that you guys, the FPL Mate viewership, surely you guys are not transferring out Reece James. Like, I know casual managers think, oh, Reece James didn't play last week, that means he must be terrible. I know people, you know, a lot of people think like that for some reason, but surely you guys are, you're better than that, right, guys? You're better than that. Someone asked for Bowen. Okay, we'll have Bowen because I've been hyping up Bowen a little bit anyway, so I guess I'll put Bowen, I'll just put him just above Antonio. We'll just keep the West Ham boys together there because we're not expecting too much from them against Chelsea, are we? Thomas with the super chat says, nice to see you, mate. Have 2 free transfers this week. 0.3 in the bank. Need to free up money for Kane to Ronaldo. And Mbumo to a 6.7 mid. Is it worth doing Tony to King or Dennis or go Kane? Oh, okay. I see what you're trying to go for here. Would you do... I mean, if you really need to do these transfers the following week, then I guess you could go Tony to King or Dennis. I get what you're saying there. I if that's the way to free up funds, then that's going to work. You will have to do the maths yourself. But if that's the way, a way of getting the money that you need, then that would be a good move. Yeah. I mean, you have to kind of take the L this week, and you know, if Tony outperforms a King or a Dennis this week, you know, you have to fully expect that there's a real chance of that happening. Like, Tony is more likely to score points than King or Dennis in this game week. That's just how it is because of the fixtures. But if you're happy to take the L for this week, then Thomas, yeah, I like it. Pookie on the list. Pookie and Benteke. Well, Benteke. Oh, let's just have a look at remind myself of the fixtures. Pookie's playing against Spurs. Benteke's playing against Manchester United. Okay, I guess I put Benteke like. Probably, we'll put Benteke, you know what, I kind of want to put Benteke pretty reasonably high. I kind of want to put Benteke like here. And Pookie against Spurs, not so high. I'd probably put him just behind Armstrong there. Spurs away, difficult game. It's not ideal, is it? Varun says, should you prioritise swapping Duffy to Lamptey or Hwang to Dennis? I don't think you need to do anything right now. Those transfers don't seem like priority moves at all, really. So I don't think you'd need to do that right now. I mean, if you want to do Hwang to Dennis or King, then I kind of understand that. If you want to do that 1 week early, but I don't think you need to do it right now at all. Anurag says, I'm starting 5 defenders, which includes White over Antonio. Thoughts? Yeah, I don't mind that at all. I don't think there's any problem with that whatsoever. Absolutely go for it. You want Edouard on the bench list as well. Paredes says, you want Jimenez on there. I feel like if you got Jimenez, you got to play. Well, actually, have you got to play him? Wait, did I already put Jimenez on this list? Sorry, I'm just talking to myself at this point. I'll put Jimenez like here because he. Actually, do I put him there? No, I probably don't. Jimenez. Let's put him like here. Not that high, if I'm honest. We'll add Edouard as well, who is probably not going to start. So we'll probably put him, I don't know, between Lamptey and Livramento. Because I don't think he's going to start. Yeah. Add Maddison. I'm not adding Maddison. If you have him, play him. Trossard, that's a popular pick, isn't it? But again, if you have Trossard, you're going to play him this week, aren't you? Surely. Like, pretty high up as well. I'll probably put Trossard, like, I don't know, like, oh, pretty high. Maybe, like here. These are kind of players that you really should be playing, in my opinion, anyway. Again, like Wilson, you've paid 7.5 million for a striker with a decent enough fixture. Play him, obviously. I'm not going to put, like, you know, I don't want to sound mean or anything, but if a player is really obvious that you should be playing them, then I'm not going to add them to the list. So, yeah. Someone said that I should change my deadline streams and do things like team news and stuff like that. I mean, I can't really. Partially because, well, I don't have, I don't have the technology to be running different things and checking different things and doing lots of stuff all at the same time. I am, the new computer's on its way, which will allow me to do a lot more stuff. But also because these streams, I get so many questions in these streams, and I just want to answer as many questions as possible. And a big thing that I think has really improved this stream is the bench list, really. People, if you want to go look for team news, you can find all of your team news last night. Last night you could have found all your team news. So maybe I need to do a team news stream, like on the day before a deadline. That would work. But all the team news is already all out there. Everything that's available is already out there. At this point, people are usually panicking on last minute transfers and who to bench out of this and that player. So for that reason, that's why I'm doing that kind of stuff. So yeah, I mean, that's a really good idea, to be fair. Maybe like I can start when the new computer arrives, I can start doing kind of team news streams. I did one of them before, actually. And I think it works out pretty well. But yeah, we could just do like a quick half-an-hour team news stream. That sounds like a pretty fun thing to do. We'll do that like the evening before a deadline. I like it. I like that idea, to be fair. So yeah, thank you for all constructive criticism, advice, stuff like that. Let's move my camera down a little bit. I feel like I'm at a weird angle here. Count Sealaw says, deadline streams are one of my favourite series, along with Buy, Sell, Keep, Avoid and 100 Experts. Team selections is good too. So that's just all of my videos then. I mean, I appreciate it, but you're not narrowing it down very much, are you? I swear, so people are asking if to put Ronaldo on this list. Guys, if you have Ronaldo, start him. The only reason I put a player like Vardy on this list is because I think he's rotation risk. Hence, I've put the little, the rotation type thing on there. People like the sound of team news streams. Okay, well, maybe when there's Saturday deadlines, maybe we'll do Friday team news streams. That could be pretty good. I think you guys will like that. Again, with the Man City, a lot of people who have got Man City players, I think just play them. Felix says, is Jesus captain viable? I don't think so. God, I'm going to sneeze. I'm sure I'm allergic to something in this room. Maybe it's just because it's so dusty and I need to clean it out. Because I always sneeze when I'm in this room, but never in any other rooms in my house. Danielle says, by Maddison or Bernardo. Bernardo is probably your sensible move. I would advise on Bernardo, whether I do that myself or not. Gabrielle says, why is Dennis higher than Lamptey? Because he's in good form, really. People asking for Douglas Luiz. You know what? I've seen actually a few people starting Douglas Luiz, so we will add Douglas Luiz. They're playing against Leicester, of course, but I wouldn't be expecting too much. Like, you could probably put him down with like a Brownhill, really. Let's put him all the way down here. Why can't I spell? I'm trying to use one hand. Why am I trying to write with one hand? It's not the one. It's not the one, guys. Dry Kate says play Antonio or Livramento. If only there was a bench list to help you out that contains both of those players. I've actually put Antonio really low, to be fair, haven't I? Why is Duffy so low? Isn't Webster injured? Yeah, but he is. But, you know, you've got to consider the chances of a clean sheet, because that's all you're getting from Duffy. I'd Skip from Spurs. I don't think so. No one has Skip. And if you do, you're crazy. And if you're crazy enough to go for a crazy player like that, then I suppose you better just play him. I don't know. I don't know anyone with Skip, to be honest. How much even is Skip? That's something I want to know. How much is Skip? So we're going to skip for the bench list, but I'm really curious. I mean, maybe one of you guys knows, and you probably tell me before this loads. That's how slow we are over here. What's this in order of? He is 4.5 million. You know what? That's not the worst 4.5 million midfielder in the world. You know, it's not the worst because he looked pretty good. I mean, he's a bit of to be fair, he's a bit of a second assist merchant. To be fair, isn't he? Second assist type guy. So yeah, maybe not. But interesting nonetheless. Dan shows his team. Okay, quick look at my team. There you go. Ramsdale, Alexander-Arnold, James, Cancelo, Alonso, Lamptey, Maddison, Salah, Jota, Kane, Antonio. And then on the bench, Mbumo, Broja, and Brownhill. Honestly, guys, I'm not expecting a huge score this week. I'm not, unless the big at the back works this week, I'm not expecting a huge score. But what I do want to do is go into next game week with 2 transfers, because there's a few fixture swings that I really like the look of. I will be looking to get, you know, maybe, well, the people on my wish list basically for next week are King, Dennis, Bowen, and Ronaldo, and I'm going to end up getting 2 of those players next week. Hopefully we're going to be, well, I mean, unless... We're definitely going to be getting rid of one of Mbumo and Broja to bring us in another really nice option to rotate with Lamptey. That's the plan. And then, you know, depending on how Kane does, maybe he goes to Ronaldo. If Kane does, you know, well, then he'll maybe stay in the team and we'll switch out both Mbumo and Broja to a Bowen and a Dennis or something like that. If I'm doing both, if I'm taking out both Mbumo and Broja, it will probably be to Dennis rather than King, because Dennis is that little bit cheaper and is a little bit more benchable, to be honest. I don't really want to be benching players coming up close to 6 million, you know, in the attacking position. I know it's cheaper than most players, but at the moment it's fine benching Broja. It'll be fine benching Dennis. I just don't want to leave too much money on the bench, you know. It cause me problems later down the line. Brownhill will deliver more points than Mbumo. You're probably not completely wrong. Calvin, thank you very much for becoming a member again. Rudiger, he's on the bench list. Is Ronaldo out? Yeah, again, I do think it's just rumours. You know, we saw, well, I think the commentator said Ronaldo looks injured. Obviously, Ronaldo looked like he maybe, you know, his hamstrings were a little bit tight. But Ronaldo did run down the tunnel at the end, the Manchester United tunnel. He ran down the tunnel. So, you know, how bad can his hamstrings be if he's able to run on them, you know, when he doesn't have to run because he's off the pitch anyway. So, you know, it's I wouldn't worry about Ronaldo being injured too much, but obviously there is that chance of him being rested if things aren't as good. So it seems like it's just rumours. The flag on the FPL website is kind of just, I guess just trying to warn people that there are rumours, but I don't think there's anything, there's nothing solid, certainly, to suggest that Ronaldo is injured, right? Ashkan says, Vardy to Tony and Benrahma to Son for a -4. Probably not, no. I mean, I don't know where you're getting Tony from. I would not be bringing in Tony at this point. He's pretty much only good for penalties, Tony, so I would not be going near Tony. Okay, a few of you guys wanting the bench list back. Okay, we're back. We're back with the bench list. I mean, that's the unique selling point, right, for these streams, right? Put White on the list. Okay, we can put White. White plays against What? I need to start memorising fixtures a little bit better. Everton. See, I know this. Okay, White against Everton. Everton have not been very good for goals recently, to be honest. We can put White pretty, not high up the list, but certainly not too low. Again, no attacking potential there, but I'd probably put him like here. So I'd rather play White than someone like, you know, a Livramento or a Gallagher maybe, and the West Ham guys against City. But you know, you're looking at 6 point, maybe some bonus points if you get lucky, and you know, people asking for like Zaha, Reguilon. No, if you have Zaha and Reguilon, you play them no matter what. They're not getting anywhere near the bench list because they should not be in. You know, they should not even be considered. I mean, I consider the same thing. I consider the same thing with Reece James. You shouldn't be considering benching Reece James, but you know, a lot of people are selling him. A lot of people are genuinely really worried about him. And when I say a lot of people, I mean hundreds of thousands of people are worried about James. So for that reason, I feel like I have to put him in begrudgingly. Vardy is another premium on there. I wouldn't ordinarily consider benching Vardy. You play him in all games, but I think he is serious rotation risk. Serious rotation risk at this point. Add Højbjerg to the list? No, you shouldn't even own Højbjerg. Yeah. Foden's not going on the list. You know, if you have him, play him. Bloomylicious says, would you consider a bench boost with Hwang, Pookie and Livramento on the bench? I wouldn't consider a bench boost at all outside of a double game week. No way. Like, a lot of people have gone early with their bench boost this year. And a lot of people are doing really well. You know, most of the top 100, 200, 300, well, to be fair, a lot of the top 1,000 players in the world right now have already used their bench boost, and that's the reason what's given them like a 20, 30 point boost. But honestly, on a double game week, you can do better. So when double game week season starts, the bench boost is going to be really, really nice, I think, especially if we plan it strategically, which we will. And, you know, we'll make some serious ground at that point, for sure. I'm not worried about that. I'm really looking forward to it, to be fair. People ask for Townsend and Gray. I can't believe you guys still have Townsend and Gray. Okay, but we'll add him on. I mean, to be fair, I could say the same thing about Mbumo. We put Townsend and Gray in a similar sort of area, wouldn't we? I think I honestly prefer Mbumo to the pair of them, though. Matt Clark says, try again, Watkins or Sam Maximan to start. Well, I mean, ideally both, Matt. Watkins, I don't know. Watkins has the better fixture, arguably. I think I prefer a fixture against Leicester than a fixture against Burnley. I guess I would start, you know what, I would start Watkins over Sam Maximan, but I would try and find a way to play at Sam Maximan as well. But yeah, I would start Watkins ahead, yeah. Calvin Fernandez says he's found my doppelganger. Search Gremlin on YouTube. I'll do it on my phone because I'm not going to mess about on this computer trying to make it do multiple things at once. Gremlin. Is this a YouTuber called Gremlin? Well, okay, yeah, maybe a little bit. I kind of see it. Is it a musician? A rapper? I think I look like a rapper. I'm pretty hip, cool and trendy. Down diggy diggy, if you like. Charlie Bruce says, tell Darcy again is banned from Cutler. He is causing chaos. Darcy, you're banned from Cutler. Why Benteke over Armstrong? Because Benteke, I think he is due a start, and I think his underlying stats are a lot better than Armstrong. His finishing is a lot better than Armstrong as well. I mean, there's not too much in it, but yeah, I would prefer Benteke. You know, Manchester United are, you know, they do concede their chances, and their defence is not going to improve overnight. You know, I know they've got the new manager there. New manager, by the way, a fairly attacking manager. I don't think their defence is going to improve overnight. And I do think Benteke, if anyone's going to score from that Crystal Palace team, you do back like a Benteke, really, don't you? He's the guy who gets the chances to score. And he does finish a lot of them, to be fair. Callum says, drop some FPL bars. Maybe one day. Maybe one day. Do you think Watkins is a good differential to bring in for Jimenez? Yes, I do. I like that transfer. I do. Is there anyone else, guys, who I should need to be adding to this list? Sensible answers only. Someone says, why is there a large gap between Dennis and King? Mostly because of Dennis's form. Dennis's form is just unreal right now, and I cannot advise people to bench Dennis, really, because I've been doing it every week, and it's been going wrong every week, so I'm not going to do it anymore. I feel like I'm being bullied a little bit by Dennis and his amazing performances to put him higher up in the list. I kind of feel like I just have to do it at this point, so it's gonna happen. Ethan says, I missed your super chat. I apologise. Should I get Cristiano Ronaldo in 1 week earlier for Kane? I'm not doing it. I don't know if that answers your question. It's an option. I strongly considered it, but I'm not done it. Patrick says, Foden, will he start for Mbumo for free? I don't know if Foden's going to start. I'm not going to make that call. It's risky. If I had to guess, I would say that Foden is probably not going to start. But, I mean, that's one of the things where, there's a 50-50 chance I'm completely wrong on that one. So it's not something I'm going to tell you if Foden's going to start or not. This is going to be a bad week for Pep Roulette. Usually, I have a pretty decent idea. This week, I really just don't have a good idea, I'm afraid. I don't have a good idea. I suppose I can only apologise for that. The situation with the Man City midfielders and attackers right now is that so many are coming back from injury all at once. And so many players are, they are being, they've been playing so much football and need to rest. And it's just it's going to be a bit of a minefield. We've got De Bruyne, Foden and Gundogan coming back from injury. We've got Sterling, Mahrez, Foden, Bernardo Silva all playing well. They're not all going to play. Someone's going to have to drop out. Maybe a couple are going to have to drop out. Is one of the young guys going to come in again? This is an easy game, right? So this is a good opportunity to rotate some players. So I'm not going to recommend Man City players. I'm not going there. So would I bring in Foden for Mbumo? Probably not, to be honest. Yeah, probably not. Peter says, thoughts on Cornet out for Bernardo Silva or Foden? I hope, Peter, I just answered your question there. I'm not touching that question. I'm not touching it. Aranya says, start Livramento ahead of Antonio this week. Just look at the bench list, my guy. Look at the bench list. I would start Livramento over Antonio. Yeah. Shihabul says, is it a good idea to save a transfer this week so I can do Rafinha and Livramento out for Gray and Shaw in next week? Gray and Shaw seem like some strange players to be bringing in. I don't know if I like that. To be honest, man. Reeves in the chat. What's up, Reeve? How you doing, mate? You're having some last-minute panics by the looks of things. Gallagher, Livramento and Mbumo looking all pretty close. The 30-minute benching headache begins. So I can't remember who you have in your team. It is all of those, isn't it? You have Gallagher, you have Livramento, and you have Mbumo. Jesus. Yeah, they are all pretty close. It is a benching headache. And, these things are going to be a coin toss. A coin toss? Why do I always say coin toss? Coin toss. But I would play Gallagher. Because those set pieces are just essential, really, aren't they? And there's something that Gallagher has above Livramento and Mbumo. Livramento has practically no attacking threat at the moment, which is a struggle. And Mbumo is not hitting any of his chances. And I don't think Leeds is an easy fixture either. But yeah, Gallagher and Livramento would be higher on the list for me. Super chat from Matt Clark says, I'm in a pickle with a strong team this game week. Smith Rowe or Sam Maximan to start. Bench list again, my guy. Smith Rowe is above Sam Maximan. I would go for Smith Rowe above Sam Maximan. I really would. He's on flames. He's on absolute fire right now. Mohit says Ronaldo and Bernardo on the list. No. If you have Ronaldo and Bernardo, play them. You've got to play these. Chris Freddy says, sup Biggie? Biggie, can't you see? I transferred in Dennis and Bernardo for Huang and Gallagher. Stuck with Duffy and Livramento. Played Duffy. I'll probably edge towards playing Livramento over Duffy. Just because, I mean, at least there's a chance of Livramento getting back to his attacking ways. Duffy is just going to be a centre-back forever, right? And if we're looking at who's got the better attacking threat out of Brighton and Southampton, you probably edge towards Southampton, have the slightly better attacking threat rate. So that's, that suggests that maybe Duffy is more likely to lose a clean sheet than Livramento. All in all, I think they're both probably on for 2 pointers, right? But yeah, I would prefer to go for Livramento there. Lamptey could be a budget option, or Lamptey is a really good budget option. I love Lamptey as a budget option. That's why I brought him in, because I like the idea of having Lamptey. He's 4.4 million, and I don't know if he's gone up since then, but he's a player who you can just rotate in, play for the good games, bench for the bad games. I'm all about that. I really like that, to be honest. And particularly if you're bringing in players like, I don't know, like a Dennis, for example, other cheap players that you want to rotate, maybe some like a Bowen or someone like that. When West Ham have these fixtures that kind of go good, bad. I don't know. To be honest, maybe after this game, I'll just play Bowen every week, to be fair. I'm really tempted. But, if you're stuck with a player like Mbumo or someone like that, or Gray or Townsend, and you can't find a way to get them out, Lamptey comes in and does the job and goes in place of them, right? So many people reckon Mbumo is going to score this game week. Honestly, I think you're feeling really optimistic. You must be feeling really optimistic. I mean, it could happen. Don't get me wrong. But it's not something you bet on happening, right? Jamie said, cheers for the Lamptey suggestion, mate. Worked a treat for me so far. Yeah, man. 3 returns in a row now? Insane. 2 clean sheets. But all load of bonus points the week before last. And then last game week, he got an assist. So Lamptey's an absolute insane pick. Like, I was really happy with that one. I really like him as a player. When you watch him play, I like him as an FPL asset because he's basically a right winger who's listed as a defender. You can't really go wrong with that. It's nice. It's pretty nice. Ronaldo on the list? No way. Stop asking for Ronaldo on the list. It's not happening. Gilmore can go on the list though, because I know a few people have Gilmore, but he is going to go low. Like, yeah, Gilmore's going to go like here. On the list, but low on the list. Maxwell Cornet. I don't know. Wait, did he get injured? Or have I made that up? Probably made that up. I've not been even looking at Cornet the last week, to be honest, because I'm just not interested at all. Dyer versus Lamptey is a budget option. I still prefer Lamptey, but, I can see why people would want Dyer. Divian says, have you made your transfers, Dan? I'm not making any transfers this week. People asking for Zaha, just play him. Just play him. If you have him, play him. Watkins, you know what? I don't want to waste slots on the bench list. No, I'm not going to waste slots on the bench list by putting these players in. Not doing it. Not doing it. Ugh. Maddison or Bernardo? Take your pick. Bernardo's the safer pick than Maddison. Like Saka, Tomiyasu. Play these players, guys. I mean, Tomiyasu, I kind of understand. Does that many people have him, though? He would be pretty high, though. Quite like to put him pretty high. Let's put him like... don't know. Like... To be honest, I'm wondering if Dyer should be that high. I'm kind of regretting putting Dyer that high. I don't know. I feel like, to be honest, if I had Dyer, I would be playing him, so he has to be high. Who did I say I would put on? Completely forgotten now. Oh well. That's why I shouldn't start talking to myself. Shouldn't start talking to myself, and then we wouldn't have this problem, would we? Few people asking for my team. Ah, of course. FPL has crashed on me, as it does. Every week. Oh, it's like a week and I'm in fact, as we wait for this to load, let me check the delivery status on my new MacBook. What do I search? Apple. We are processing your order. Can I check delivery status? No, my team's loaded. There you go, guys. Entertain yourselves for a minute whilst I have a look and see the delivery status on the MacBook. Livermento over Antonio. Explain, please. Livermento, just because Antonio's blanking all the time, right? Right, it's arriving between the 8th and the 15th of December. That is such a large span of time. Oh my god. So it's a 7-day period. It could deliver any time between the 8th and the 15th. What's today's date? Today's the 4th. So the at earliest, I could actually technically have the new setup by next deadline stream. That would be an absolute... That would be a blessing, wouldn't it? Oh, Count Law says Windows is better than Mac. His personal preference. I mean, it seems like the only people who care about the Windows versus Mac debate is people who use Windows machines. I feel like you're just insecure. Aranya says, if Kane scores this week, where will we stand on the Kane to Cristiano Ronaldo move for next week? Doesn't it make more sense to make the switch already? Well, exactly. I mean, you've kind of answered the only question there. If Kane scores this week, it creates a debate, which is why you might not necessarily want to go for Ronaldo this week, because it creates a debate. And maybe you'll think, if Kane scores a hat-trick against Norwich, you might say, okay, maybe that is the boost Kane needed to do really well. The Spurs fixtures are pretty good for a little while. We know Kane is going to play more football over the Christmas period than Ronaldo is. So, it creates a real nice debate. And if Kane does really well this game week, you genuinely would consider keeping him, wouldn't you? So that's why, that's why you wouldn't go a week early. Well, one of the reasons why you wouldn't go a week early. That's one of the reasons I'm not going a week early, because I want that debate. Ross says, should I start Benteke or Brownhill? Definitely Benteke. Rishi Wadkis is now a member of the channel. Thank you so much. Enjoy the emojis and the I think that's pretty much it. And the badge next to your name. I'll keep an eye out for your chats. Deep Kundu says, why is everyone selling Reece James? Because everyone is crazy. They look at scores on the FPL website and they don't look at anything else. Dan Cross says, I've always used Windows and would hate having to get used to a Mac. Now, that's a good reason. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I've always used kind of both, but I just always preferred Mac, particularly for, graphics editing and keeping everything on the same platform, iPhone, it's easy to transfer files across and stuff like that and keep all the files in one place kind of thing. I find it a little bit smoother for a lot of the processors I use. So it just works for me. I have no problem with people who use PCs, and PCs probably a lot better for a lot of the things that some other people do. Gaming, streaming, stuff like that. A PC is probably a lot better, but I spend, 8 hours a day editing graphics and adding stuff together and editing videos and stuff. It's just for me. It's, each to their own. Sergey, thank you for becoming a member of the channel. Geordie says Benteke or Mbumo. I would go for Benteke over Mbumo. Maybe we need to bring the bench list back because people are wasting their hard-earned cash on super chats. Some of you guys coming in now didn't even know there was a bench list. There is a bench list. Don't worry. I wouldn't let you down on the bench list. Tuckles with their super chat here. Congrats with your rank. Thank you very much. I can buy Ronaldo or Kane for free. Which would you go for considering fixtures? Do you know if Ronaldo injury is true? I'm from South Africa, so I don't have local news. It seems like the Ronaldo injury is just a rumour. There's nothing really to back it up. I think Ronaldo's good to go. I think he's fit, and I would be playing. Well, if I had to go for one of Ronaldo or Kane at this exact moment, I would be going for Ronaldo for the long term. So yeah, Ronaldo's the player I'd go for. Someone said in the chat, I just saw they were from the Maldives. I may be going to the Maldives next summer. So maybe I'll see you there. I don't know how big the country is. Pretty big. So, well, not really that big compared to some other countries, but, you know, big enough that you probably wouldn't bump up into someone, you know, from your YouTube channel live stream chat, right? Please, Livramento or Jimenez on the bench, please. Just look at the bench list, my guy. Yeah, maybe a few people are not familiar with the bench list. Basically, this is a list of players. The higher the player is on this list, the higher they are as a priority to play. So if you've got 2 players on this list and you can't decide who to start out of your 2 players, just look at who is higher up on the list and play them, really. Did you create the bench list? I mean, did I create it? Yeah, I came up with the idea. I mean, I don't think anyone else has done it. And I make this and make up a fairly arbitrary order in which the player should go in based on gut feeling. You know, this is not the bench list. I don't want you to think a lot of thought goes into this because you can't do individuals comparisons. A matrix comparison between every one of these players is just not possible, right? It's just sort of what I would do personally. You can't get it 100% right, but you know, it's just a way of me trying to help you with a lot of your general bench questions. What's the green thing next to Vardy? That thing means rotation risk. Should we add a little key? I'm going to add a key. You know, I'll add the key for next game week, but it basically means the green thing. Maybe you can't see it so well, but it's like a little rotation thing. So that means rotation risk. And obviously, you can see on Norman at the bottom there, there's an injury risk one on there as well. Saka's not on the list because you should play him. Ronaldo's not on the list because you should play him. Gallagher's lower than. Why is Gallagher lower than Jimenez? Because I don't think Liverpool are that good defensively. I mean, I don't particularly like having Jimenez that high, but I mean, these are all bad players. That's why they're on the bench list. Well, they're not all bad players, but they're all like players you're not super confident about. All of them, each and every one of them. Foden, if you have Foden, play him. If you have Alonso, play him. If you have Cancelo, play him. If you have Emerson Royale, play him. I know a lot of you guys are answering these, asking these questions. These are all players you need to play. Thoughts on Mbeumo and Antonio to Jota and King? Yeah, I like that a lot. Usually I wouldn't recommend selling Antonio, but if this is your way to get Jota, you absolutely must do it. Like, you are going to fall further and further and further behind if you don't have Jota. At my rank, Jota is like at a 95% ownership now. Like, it's probably going to be close to 100% of people in the top 1,000 will have Jota. He is an absolutely essential player at this point, unfortunately. You know, the hope was that you get in on these players early, but if you can't get in on a player early, then you have to catch up with the template. People are asking, why is this player there? Why is this player here? Why is this player there? This is just what I would do. I can't explain every single one of them. There's too many to explain. You know, someone says, surely Brownhill above Antonio? No, because at least Antonio has a chance of scoring, even if it is remote. At least Antonio is a well-recognised, good striker, a good Premier League striker. You know? This kind of thing, what I mean. Why is Bowen higher than Antonio? Because Bowen is you know, his performance is a lot better. He's getting more attacking areas. He's getting more opportunities to score, etc., etc. Move with Mike says, Mbeumo and Vardy out, Bernardo and Jesus in for -4. Thoughts? I think that's an absolutely crazy transfer move. I definitely would not be doing that personally. I'd be thinking more like Vardy to a Ronaldo, to be honest. But I mean, Bernardo and Jesus could pay off. But like I've been saying, and Alex James, you've come into the super chat as well. Foden or Bernardo, again. I know I said this a lot, and I'm sorry that you spent money on a super chat and stuff, and I really do appreciate it. But I'm not going near that question. I'm not going near the question of Man City players because I don't know who's going to start this game week. Usually, I have a good idea. This game week, I really don't. I don't know who. I don't like. You could ask me who is the safest Man City attacker to pick. I can't even answer that question. Bernardo Silva has played so much football. He could easily get benched. Honestly, I'm struggling. You guys probably have as much idea as me. Dan Cross says, looks like no team news. Let's make my transfer. No one's seen any. No Chelsea team news. No. I mean, if anyone has any Chelsea team news, even if it's the last minute, please do. Please do feel free to. Please do feel free to let me know. Although I'm not going to stay on late this today because I've got Foot Champs to play. I've got to play my Foot Champs games. And I'm hungry as well. I need to get some food. I'm not eating today yet. Charlie says, Bernardo, 100%, do you not watch football? Well, yeah, of course I do. But Bernardo's also played 90 minutes of football for like 20 games in a row. You know, if he's getting a rest, a favourable fixture against Watford is probably a good time to rest him, right? And then straight back in for next game week. You know, another rest, probably, a double rest for the midweek as well. Although someone's got to play in midweek, haven't they? So yeah, maybe he does play this game week and maybe the midweek is the rest for him. I don't know. I'm not... You can say that you know, but I don't think anyone knows. But what I'm saying is you guys know as much as me. Felix says, so should we sell our City assets? No, I don't think so, because if whoever does play is going to do very well. Whoever does play is going to pick up a lot of points. I just don't know who that player is going to be, and I don't want to be the guy to guess it, because the only thing that will happen is people will come back to this chat or this stream, or post on Twitter and clip this or whatever, or comment in my videos next week, and they'll say, you told me to get this player and they got benched, and I'll be like, well, yeah, sometimes that happens. So that is the reason why I'm not talking about Man City players. Or, to be honest, I'm talking about Man City's quite a lot for a person who doesn't want to talk about Man City players. Oh, but there you go. Maybe ask someone else if you want advice on the Man City players. Then, yeah. You go find someone else to give you advice on that one, unfortunately. Not answering any more. No more Man City questions for today. FPL Tyler says, thinking behind Benteke so much higher on the list than Mbumo. Well, Benteke gets more chances to score. I think that Manchester United are just as bad of a defence as Leeds are, even under new management. And Benteke is, more prolific and has been doing much better. He's just a better goal scorer, really. Kane captain worth the risk? Absolutely not. Buy Jesus and sell Jimenez. That's a City. Ignore City, Dan. Ignore all the City questions. Don't touch it. Come on, Dan. Don't touch it. You don't need to do this to yourself. Just gonna ignore everything to do with City, which is a shame because everyone is asking about Man City. I feel like you're just trolling me at this point. Right, let's see if we can reload the fantasy page and have a look at my team for the last 5 minutes, because a few people are asking now. I feel like you've seen the bench lists. I feel like you've probably... hopefully by now you have made final decisions on the order of your bench. I hope so. It doesn't look like there's any Chelsea team news from what I've checked. But here we go. That is how I'm lining up, guys. We're going 5 at the back again. People asking why Dennis is so high. I will answer that one, because I did answer it earlier on in the stream, but I'll answer it one more time. It's because he seems to be in such good form, and sometimes you have to think about form as well as fixture, particularly with the attackers. When an attacker gets in a rich vein of form, it doesn't matter who they're playing. We saw that already with with Dennis against Chelsea last week. No one expected Dennis to do well there, but it happened. Harishi, please stop spamming the chat. Because of the spam, I'm not going to answer your question. Thank you, Count Sealaw, for the mutation. Muting? I don't know. Reaver's decided. He's benching Mbumo. The decision has been made. Good luck, mate, my friend. Yeah, Mbumo on the bench seems sensible to me. I have no faith in Mbumo at this point whatsoever. I've given up, really. He's first on my bench, though, to be fair, but only because I think he guarantees you a nice 2-pointer. And that's probably the best I'm hoping for from my bench. It's not a particularly strong bench, is it? And you never know. You never know. Who would you say the better partnership long-term is? FPL Tyler says, Ronaldo and Bowen or Watkins and Bruno. I would definitely be going for Ronaldo and Bowen. That is a really nice combo. I like it. I will most likely be going for that combo myself. That's why I like it. The reason that doesn't quite make sense, but yeah, that's why I'm telling you that I like it, because because I'm probably going to go for that myself. Is Trent Alexander-Arnold captain over Salah insane? It's a little bit insane. I feel like most people kind of have kind of learned by now that you just captain Salah. I know it's really boring. I know no one wants to be thinking about that really, but no one wants to be. No one wants this situation where you have to captain the same player every week. No one wants that. It's boring, but you kind of have to do it. Count Sealaw says white or good. Just play white, I think. I'm not gonna do. Can I show the list quickly? Okay, right. I'll show the list very quickly, and then it's going forever. You've got it on screen for a minute, guys. This is your last look at the bench list. I mean, we're so close to deadline anyway that I don't even know if you can make your switches in time. Right, you can do this, guys. In fact, I'll stay completely silent so you guys can concentrate on your last minute switching arounds of your benches. But yeah, this is the list, the order that I would be going for. There we go. You happy? You happy? All good. People asking Son captain again. I'm not. Every single week I say this. I'm not going to recommend anyone captain other than Salah. If you want to captain someone else, that's got to be a decision that is completely on yourself. I can tell you who I would captain if I didn't have Salah. Iron Mike says, I disagree. I captain Son. Watch it pay off. Good luck, Mike. Honestly, good luck, mate. But really, it's not something that I want to go near. But yeah, I mean, if I didn't have Salah, or Salah, there was, he got a last minute injury or whatever. Who would I captain? Probably I don't know, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Kane, Son, Ronaldo, Cancelo maybe. City's a bit risky because you obviously have a high chance of a 1-pointer with your City player, so I probably wouldn't be doing the City captain. But Ronaldo, Kane, Son. I don't know. Uzi Automatic says, when's Quickfire coming back? Quickfire will come back when the new computer arrives, just because I get a lot of lag when a lot of stuff is going on in the stream. And so when the chat goes mad, my computer just crashes. It happens all the time. So hopefully we'll be able to bring back some Quickfire stuff. Last 5 minutes of the stream. It was good fun to do that last season. I know we haven't done it at all this season, right? All right. Is everyone locked in? It's not quite deadline yet for me, but it may well be for you. How long we got? Count Sealaw misses Quickfire. I miss it a little bit as well, to be fair. But there we go, guys. The deadline is passed for me. I'm assuming the deadline is passed for you. Hopefully you guys got your transfers all locked in. All of your benches are in the correct order and stuff like that. And hopefully you all captain Salah. Really. I hope you didn't captain anyone else. But you might have. Let's see. To be honest, after that Salah brace, is anyone really brave enough? I mean, some people obviously will be. Oh, God. How's it going to go? How's it going to go? Right, locked in, guys. I've also remembered, I've just had a reminder that I've got a delivery coming in like 10 minutes. Um, so I've got a delivery coming, I've got to play Foot Champs, and I've got to get some food. So I'm not going to stay on late today, guys. I have been doing a few long streams. I think I did 2.5 hours deadline stream last time, didn't I? But yeah, not today, I'm afraid, guys. But yeah, maybe next game week. If I got the new computer by next deadline stream, we'll probably go on forever. We'll just do like a 10-hour stream or something like that. We may as well watch, we could watch the games together and everything. Maybe we'll see. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna dip off. Good luck, everyone, in this game week. If you wouldn't mind leaving a like on the stream before you go, that would be massively appreciated. Of course, if you haven't subscribed already, that would also be awesome if you wouldn't mind doing that. But aside from that, guys, thank you so much for watching. See you guys over on Twitter, hopefully. Catch you guys on Twitter for lots of reactions and memes and stuff like that across the games. But there we go. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you later, mates. Bye-bye.